I was thinking recently about a phrase, what if? And I thought about events in my life and in the lives of a lot of other people that I've met over the course of my time here on this earth. But I thought about what if. What if things could be different? What do I mean by that? Well, what if Christians? What if Christians could be Christians? What if they could be like Christ, which is what being a Christian is supposed to be, right? Being like Christ. What if? What if Christians, what if we could just let go of our differences? What if we could just say, you know what, some things just don't matter? I mean, really, what if we just decided, you know what, it's more about telling people and showing them the love of God, instead of all of the little petty things that we argue and that we fuss and we fight and we have division and strife in our churches over. What if we could just lay all that stuff aside? Just wonder, what would the church be? What would the church look like? What would our communities look like? What would our towns look like? What would our cities look like if we could really be who Jesus wants us to be? If we could just lay all this stuff aside, what if? What if it didn't matter if you believe this or you believe that? We came to an agreement that what it takes really to make a difference in a person's life is Jesus. What if we just realized that some things don't really matter? I'm not talking about the real solid core truths of God's Word. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the little petty stuff. And some of y'all know what I'm talking about. The little petty stuff that people argue and fuss and fight over. That people say, well, I'm not going back to church. Because if that's what it's all about, there's no point in me going. You know what? I get that. Look, I was raised in church. I was raised in a mainline denominational church. And I saw strife and I saw division that was just nonstop. I saw arguing over little petty things. What color is this? We don't like the color of the floor. We don't like that. We don't want to do this. And it was just nonstop. And you wondered why people didn't want to come to our church. I know why. I know what that was all about. I know what it was about for me when I got older. And I ran from church. I didn't want anything to do with it because it was fake. It was a facade. And I came to the point that I realized that I had to make a decision that I was just going to be a follower of Jesus and not worry about what people thought, not worry about what other people did. Now, don't misunderstand, I do care what people do. I want to see people come to Jesus. But I had to come to a place in my life, just like everybody does, where you make a decision that, you know what, it's about a personal relationship, a relationship between you and Jesus, a relationship between me and Jesus. And I ask myself today, what if? What if I could just be the person that Jesus wants me to be? What if you could be the person that Jesus wants you to be? That we lay aside our petty differences, that we lay aside all of the garbage and all of the stuff that really at the end of the day truly doesn't matter. What would happen? What would happen if people who were hurting in this life, people who were strung out on drugs and alcohol, people with addictions from pornography to abuse to whatever, what if we could just simply lay all of our petty differences aside and reflect the love of Jesus so people could see it in us?